What's up, guys? As promised, I'm going to give you a spoiler-free full review for The Monkey because I didn't really get to go over plot motivations and characters and whatnot. Just gave you the broad strokes in the out of theater. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. The Monkey stars Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, and is directed by Osgood Perkins. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2025 review. We are going to review The Monkey. Now, I did an out-of-theater reaction. I swear, sometimes those out-of-theater reactions, a lot of times they do better than the full reviews, but I still want to give you a full review of, the plot points and the characters, and I guess just digging a little deeper, right? That's what I'm trying to do without still spoiling anything. But I don't think this is the type of movie that... it's like there's a big twist or anything like that. No, it's just more a lot of blood and guts and a lot of zany, comedic horror. It's a true horror comedy is what it is. So let's get started and dive right in with a quick plot synopsis. The Monkey, it centers around these twin brothers, Bill and Hal, played by Theo James. But what's interesting is a good portion of this movie focuses on them as children. So you got this child actor by the name of Christian Convery, who does a really good job, by the way. And I could have sworn that there were two different actors playing them just because their haircuts are quite different, right, Bill and Hal? And also just their personalities they couldn't be more opposite, which does happen with twins sometimes, I think. I'm not a twin. I don't know. I'm sure I have some twin viewers out there. Let me know if you guys are like, two sides of the same coin or two sides of two very different coins, right? But these are two very different coins. Bill is just a complete dickbag. He's really rude, selfish, narcissistic, quite horrible to Hal. And there's a big reason why these two are quite different, because it plays into how different their lives are throughout the movie. And of course, once they become adults, they split off and go different ways. I would imagine, and I'm sure a lot of siblings can relate, that when you have a sibling that's they're just an asshole. An asshole's an asshole, and you don't want to be around that person. You can only stand that person for so long, even if they're siblings. Yeah, you're going to be there when they need you, if it's like life and death, but still. So this sort of plays with those themes. And Theo James does a fantastic job in this movie. He's really wanting to dive into deeper roles. I haven't followed everything that he's done. I've seen a couple of the Divergent movies. I'm not really a big fan of those movies, but he's done some TV, I think, outside of that. He was perfect for this role, actually. But the main focus here, yes, this is a horror movie, and the monkey in this movie, make no mistake, yeah, this is a horror comedy, but that monkey is scary as hell. Like, get that thing away from me. I was even thinking, because I know there's like some popcorn buckets for this thing, but are you really going to take that thing home with you and let it stare at you all night? I don't know if I'm brave enough. And I think that's when you know you have an effective toy or like a doll like Chucky back there. Sometimes you get a little nervous having them in your house, right? Especially when the lights are off and you got a light pointed at its face, right? So that monkey, I don't know if I'd want to own one. I probably would, but yeah, it's still a really freaky monkey. And the big gimmick here is that monkey, if it is around anyone, there's always bad juju. People are in danger. Somebody is going to die, and you don't know who's going to die, and that's part of the fun of this movie. Whereas comparing this to the Final Destination movies, I'd say more times than not, in each death scenario, you know who the target is. Oftentimes the target's the only one in the frame, right? But in this movie, when that monkey is cranked up, you don't know who's going to get it, and the characters themselves don't know who's going to get it, and they bring that up in the movie. And so when the twins are young, they realize that they need to get rid of this monkey, and so they do, and of course it finds its way back to them later in life. This movie jumps forward like 25 years, from them being children, and so the monkey has laid dormant for like 25 years until it crops back up again. But what's great about this movie is so many things. Osgood Perkins, impeccable direction, the quirky nature of the characters, how you can't take your eyes off of what they're doing. This is just one of those movies that it goes outside of the real world a little bit for the sake of comedy, And so the characters, they just have this zany nature about them. I guess that's the best way to put it. You'll know what I mean when you watch the movie. You're definitely immersed into a world. And that's what this movie makes you feel like. A Stephen King world, I guess. Also, Rowan Campbell from Halloween Ends actually is in this movie with a horrible, horrible haircut. And it's obviously a wig. I kind of wish they didn't go with the wig. His hair doesn't need to be like it was in Halloween Ends, obviously. But I think they could have maybe gotten a better wig. I don't know. It is distracting. He turns in a fine performance. And he's a bumbling idiot in the movie, the character. And these are fun characters, too, because when they're in a very dangerous situation like this, it's their stupidity that can get people killed, right? Now, the kills in this movie, they are so over the top, and I'd even say like so unrealistic at times, just the way they play out. A lot of them are realistic, of course, and it's not like they're so unrealistic that they take you out of the movie. No. To get right down to it, they're just so freaking fun. And they're not really scary as they are kind of shocking and laugh out loud crazy. Like, for instance, the scene in the trailer where the girl's about to jump into the pool. I'm not going to spoil it, but how that plays out, I did not expect how it was going to play out. I knew it was going to get crazy, okay? But I didn't know how, or if she was going to die. I didn't know, okay? But I will say, wow. And this movie is full, and I mean full of scenes like this. And oftentimes there's scenes where you know it's coming. I guess you know it's coming in every scene. But there's one scene with a realtor when Hal goes back to the house that he grew up in. And the realtor, this character is so funny. They're just very bubbly. And they don't know what's coming. And then Hal, he's kind of like freaking out because he needs to get her out of that house. Because he knows that danger is imminent. And so it's like the clock's ticking and you're just waiting for it to happen. And you never know when it's going to happen. And that's just part of the fun of the movie. And then there's payoff. There's big time payoff over and over and over again in this.
Oh, not a cherished childhood memory now, was it?
No.
It's a crowd pleaser. It's a movie you want to go to and watch it with a crowd and just have a blast with it. Everybody in the theater when I saw it, and it's late, we're 9:30 showing, and everybody is just having a rip-roaring time of their life, laughing at this movie. I remember there's one scene where one guy, like, he could not turn off the laughter. It was lingering, and it wasn't annoying because you were laughing too. Now, talking about the tone of this movie, I will say, and I don't really necessarily see this as a con because at the end of the day, these are three-dimensional characters. They do have tragedy in their lives. A big part of this movie is their relationship with their mother, Lois, played by Tatiana Maslany. I loved her performance in this too, by the way. Her relationship with her sons, it's kind of the anchor of this movie, and it's going to eventually present itself more emotionally in the third act, which it does. So when I mean like a tonal shift, this movie is very funny for the first 2/3, and then it gets a little bit more tension-filled and serious in the last act because of what is unfolding. Billy also has a son by the name of Petey in this, and he has a very, very strained relationship with his son, but the monkey has a lot to do with that, him trying to keep him safe, but it's one of those situations where it's going to cost him his relationship with his son. So he has that emotional tug of war, and his son definitely wants to have a relationship with his father. His mother's hooked up with this stepdad played by Elijah Wood. But later in the movie, the son plays a pivotal part, and I think that's part of the reason why it does take a little bit of a tonal shift. I just loved the character work in this. I think this movie just checks every single box imaginable that you want out of not just a horror movie, but a good movie. Feel for the characters. You're laughing at what's going on as well. It's kind of like a Coen Brothers movie, Coen Brothers, boy, they're one of those directors that they just have a gift for capturing unique and interesting characters that are still extremely hilarious, but still very grounded. So yeah, The Monkey, one of the most unique movies of the year, even for Osgood Perkins. Yeah, it definitely has that visually that Osgood Perkins stamp on it. I mean, his films look like a freaking $1 billion. They look amazing. But the tone of this movie compared to his previous works that are more of a slow burn type nature, I think this is a good way to flex his storytelling muscles, because this is a different type of story, different rhythm. And I think, he's really proven himself as one of the greats, one of the horror greats today. But yeah, this is a bona fide, sealed, stamped, and delivered, trapped on a freaking island. It's going to be like a future classic. I just know it, okay? Anybody that collects Stephen King movies, they will definitely want to tuck this into their collection. All right, so when you see The Monkey, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I am so looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. On Fridays, we do Fearful Fridays. Follow me, Drumdums, on my socials, support me on Patreon, become a channel member, buy me a coffee. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and Drumdum out.